You could implement this simple funnel for your e-commerce brand today and start converting cold traffic more profitably. Today, we're going to be looking at a funnel from NativePath. It's a simple listicle to sales page to checkout funnel. Listicles can be super effective if built the right way, and they're really simple to build if you focus on the really important points that make them convert. And this one from NativePath is converting really well. They're sending more than 200 ads of traffic into this page right here. And today we're going to look at the copy, we're going to read it and see why it's performing so well. So starting from the most important thing on these types of funnels, first of all, as you can see, these funnels are not overly designed. They're not, they don't have a lot of kind of different elements or stuff going on. What you need to do with these types of funnels here to convert, educate, and warm up cold traffic, you need to focus on copy and the angle you're going to use to educate and warm up a person that doesn't know anything about your brand, about your product, about what you're doing, about why your product exists or what it does. You need to make sure you use the copy and your angle to educate, warm up, and convert that customer through your first page, which in this case is the listicle in this case. So starting from the top, above the fold, most important part, the goal of the above the fold in these pages is not to sell the offer, not to sell the product, not to convince someone that you need to buy, the visitor that you need to buy immediately this offer or something like that. The goal of these pages above the fold is to get them to read the next line and get them to read the next line, and slowly they're going to read the whole page. You need to get them to read the page to understand why your product exists, what it does, and how it can help them, and warm them up to the idea of buying from you an offer later on. So how do they achieve this? Headline says 7 reasons everyone over 50 should be taking this kind of protein. So already headline, they are targeting their customer persona, their customer ideal customer avatar, over 50, people over 50. 7 reasons, common format in listicles that helps with obviously attention spans are being like they're getting lower and lower over time, and stuff like this, which is catchy and simple, and it's giving them a number gives them an idea of what they're getting into. It's a very, very simple but very focused headline. So these are the 7 reasons, and it also catches your attention, and it gets you to read more because you want to know what are these 7 reasons that they could possibly be talking about. So 7 reasons, common format for listicles, targeting your customer avatar over 50, and then hooking them in with something that's already commonly known. So by this point, we're not in 2015 or 2010 anymore. It's commonly known that proteins are a really important part of diet. If you want to be in shape, if you want to be healthy, you need to be eating protein. But they're giving it a twist on top of it, which is taking this kind of protein. So they're branching out of the common kind of protein group of things. And as you know, there's a million brands selling different stuff with protein and all of that stuff. So they're kind of branching out of this by mentioning this kind of protein in the headline. So they're adding some curiosity to it. And then following up with sub-headline, doctor reveals little known tips for supporting bone density, suit enjoying discomfort and boosting mobility. So here is the problem that our customer avatar is facing: bone density issues, joint discomfort issues, and boosting mobility issues. These are the problems they're facing. And so the people over 50 that are facing this problem are going to be interested in this article. Another mistake or error that a lot of brands make when building these type of funnels is they make them super generic. They try to get as many people on them as possible. You need to be very specific with these funnels. Specifically, you need to be very specific and use specificity as your advantage to make sure you're hooking in and you're getting the type of customer you want, because those customers are the people who are going to actually convert. You can make a sales page generic. You can make a product page generic. You can make pages that come later as steps in the funnel more generic. The first page, the lander where traffic actually lands, need to zero in on your customer avatar. So this is the customer avatar for them here, and they add a little bit more curiosity to get them to read the next line, which is the important thing, saying little known tips, so things that probably this customer avatar doesn't know. Lead image matches with the headline, so we have an image of a person that's over 50. That's another important thing. Lead image is really, really important, and if you have an image that really matches the context the context of your page in general, but the context of your above the fold, so the headline and the subheadline, it's going to do really well in getting people to go through and read the next lines of the page. So going over the copy here, they're already the important thing here is framing. What's the context of what you're reading here? They're doing a good job already of this in the headline, subheadline. The first 3 lines, they're doing even a better job at this. So they're saying if you're over the age of 50, male or female, if the words bone on bone are all too familiar, if you've ever had a DEXA scan. Basically what they're doing here is people that are going through these issues right here, they're going to know exactly what they're talking about here. I don't understand this, for example, because I'm not over 50 or I never had these issues. You probably don't understand this if you're not over 50. Someone over 50 is really familiar with what they're saying here. And if you kind of think about it in a general context of like human relationships and stuff like that, if you listen, if you hear someone talking about something that you know about, or it's something you care about, or something that you like, or something that's part of your life, it's going to be much easier to get a connection or get something going on with that person, or get a conversation going on. The same mechanism, it's what's happening here. I don't understand this, so I don't really care about what they're saying here. Someone that's gone through these things is going to perfectly understand what they're talking about here with bone on bone, DEXA scans, and all of this stuff. So framing, really super important, and being specific and using the terminology that your customer avatar is using, really important here. Then after that, the second important thing is reaffirming authority. So in the subheadline, they were mentioning doctor reveals, and here the next step in the copy is reaffirming that authority and why you should keep reading beyond this point right here. So at this point, you know that this is talking to you. You know that you are the person that's being like focused. You know that the person writing this article or talking to you through the copy knows who you're going through, but why should you keep reading this? Why should you care about it? And why should you just not click off? Because you've most likely already seen all of these things mentioned and things like that. So why should you keep reading this? As I mentioned, getting the visitor to read the next line and the next line and the next line is how you get them to convert at the end. So here they reaffirm authority. As a doctor of physical therapy, so the person that's written this article here, I've met countless people who felt their best days were behind them, and they frame all of this authority. So the authority given to them by a doctor of physical therapy is to introduce what's going to be the solution or the method through which you get the solution. So here, as you can see, the bolded sentence is, but most importantly, I've seen people achieve incredible reversals with a simple nutritional fix. So here you start understanding what you're getting into. Maybe it's something that you've never tried before, so you get interested by this point right here with a simple, so nothing super expensive or super hard to do, with a simple nutritional fix. So they're already framing what's going to be the method to get the solution. So then we go into the actual 7 reasons that were mentioned in the headline, and here they're doing a really good job of slowly getting you throughout all of the points. They're slowly getting you to understand what they're talking about, why they're talking about it, how they solve the issue, why is it going to make a difference beyond all of the other things you've already tried, and showing you other people that it worked for. They do this really well. The structure is very progressive, and it helps people understand step by step why this is important. And this is why listicles also do really well. If you write copy properly and if you structure your story and your angle properly, it's because they give the information in pills. So first point, second point, third point. And if you do a good job of writing your copy, you can structure it in a way where basically point by point, you're revealing the truth, kind of like in a story or in a movie or in a TV series. You're basically getting the plot through point by point, making sure that everything is explained properly to get them to the end where they get basically the reveal, the final reveal, which is their product that helps you solve this problem. But they do this slowly. They do not just throw the product in your face immediately, which is, as I said, is not the goal of these pages. But here, let's just go briefly through the points and see how they do this well. So first of all, they introduce the problem. What you know about calcium probably isn't true, which is obviously, since we were talking about bone density, joint discomfort, and mobility of the stuff, they're basically the way they're going to attack or frame the problem. Is it all about calcium? you most likely have a preconception about calcium because when we grow up, we are told that calcium is really important. You should drink milk because it helps your bones grow stronger, and it makes them harder to break and stuff like that. But they are framing this for an older audience, over 50, and they're introducing the problem to be what they basically knew from all of their life about calcium. So here they're saying, I hate to say it, but that's misleading on the basically telling people that considering calcium supplements that's misleading. That's not going to solve your bone issues. And here people are like, or their customer avatar is going to be start already to get interested into this because it's something that most people may not know. And this is basically what you need to do when you're writing cold traffic focused copy. This really depends on the stage of sophistication that your market is in, depending on the product you have and the unique selling proposition you have and the unique way your product solves the problem. Here you're going to have to do a good job of matching the stage of sophistication of your market, and this is a really good way of branching out of the common protein angle, and that protein is a good thing and all of that stuff. And here we'll see how they'll connect protein at the end with this, because right now we're talking about calcium, so they're doing it in a very good way. But basically, then they explain the mechanism of why calcium is not the solution you need. And here they say calcium needs a structure to stick to, and the structure is the organic living part of your bones, and it's 90% collagen protein. So here they introduce actually what type of protein they're talking about, which is collagen protein. And they introduce you why this is important, because without enough collagen, too much calcium causes arterial calcification and kidney stones. And obviously you don't want that. You don't want that to happen to you. And they explain you the reason why, because a lot of these people also obviously go to doctors and ask questions, stuff like that. And here they explain something that might have happened to some of the people reading this article, which is experts tell postmenopausal women to avoid calcium supplements without giving an explanation. They're basically giving you the explanation here, because if you don't get enough collagen protein in, it would be causing arterial calcification and kidney stones, and that's really important. So then they continue on this point. We've been duped by a calcium myth for nearly 50 years. They keep pushing on this kind of narrative that calcium is not what you need for bone density issues and all of that stuff. And here they introduce why. So if when we're little, we get told that calcium is good and we should be drinking milk and all of that stuff, so why at this point it's not great? And here they explain the point for that. After age of 30, we produce 1 to 2% less collagen per year, and by the age of 60, so their customer avatar, and bolded sentence, you see it here, most people make half as much collagen as they did in their youth. So here you understand why this is bad. I could get as much calcium in as I wanted when I was a little kid, but now since I'm old and my body makes half as much collagen as it did in my youth, then I cannot handle the problem this way, and doing this is not going to help me solve my problem. So at this point, someone might ask themselves, so can I get, I do eat protein, am I already getting this type of protein that I need for my diet? I should be getting it from my diet. I already eat a lot of protein. They already debunk this point here, and they already handled that objection in the copy. Another of the goals of these types of pages is handling objections before they come up, or handling objections before you show them the offer on the sales page step. And here they mention it's not so easy to get collagen into your diet. It's found in parts of the animal that you normally don't eat, like bone, cartilage, tendons, and skin. And here basically, in our part of the world, nobody eats those parts of the animal, and that's why you're not getting enough of this protein in. So they are handling the objection of, I should be getting already enough of this in my diet. They're telling you, no, you're not, because collagen is only found in specific parts of the animal that we do not eat usually. So now they start introducing the mechanism that basically delivers the solution to you. And you do this at point 3, but this specific protein can help reverse age-related bone thinning. And here they mention, since bone mineral density drops by about 1 to 2% per year after menopause, that means these women got back 4 to 5 years of bone density in only 12 months by supplementing and using and having more collagen in their diet. So basically they're recouping what they said in the last point. In the last point they said you start losing this like by this percentage every year by supplementing this, by attacking this problem, you solve that, and you get back 4 to 5 years of what you lost in just 12 months by getting this into your diet. So here you have an idea of the problem. You have a frame of the problem, a frame of the solution. So you start understanding what's the method of which you can help solve that problem. But here, maybe you're at this point, you're kind of skeptical. You're learning, and so you're trying to understand how this can help you. Here at this point is where social proof can be very helpful. Since they're probably skeptical, they just read something new, they might not be believing it, and things like that. Social proof at this point is really does really well. And so at point 4, get ready to see youth return to hair, skin, nails, digestion, and more. This does 2 things. First of all, showing social proof, so showing reviews of people that got results from this. And second of all, they're already giving you kind of the dream goal for you. So getting ready to see youth return to hair, skin, nails, and digestion, and getting all of these benefits, and basically going back to your youth in your 50s. And they're already basically giving you kind of, if you close your eyes, you can see already all of these things coming back to you if you start implementing the method that we just showed you. But how do you do that? We already said that our current diets do not include all of these parts of the animals that deliver this problem. So they do this in the next coming points, point 5 and 6. First of all, they are giving you more information on what all of the different types of collagen, how collagen works, what does collagen do in your body, and all of these things. And they tell you, basically they are starting to frame why their solution is the best before they even introduce what their solution or what their product is. They're already trying to handle objections that could come up at the offer step. And here basically they do that by saying there are 28 different types of collagen in your body, but 90% of it is type 1. So you need type 1 collagen. To maximize the amazing health benefits of collagen, you should search for types 1 and types 3. And those are the types of protein of collagen that you need to get. So at this point, you have the problem, you have the method, you know that there's people that did it, and it would help you, and you know what type of collagen you need to get. So at this point, you could say, I could just go and look for this type of collagen and buy it. Here, they basically handle that objection at point 6. We found other collagen powders to be all marketing, so we designed one that suits your need. And basically, they frame that here by telling you, we've tested other solutions, other collagen proteins on the market, and we've seen that they do not deliver what you need. They're already starting to handle objections that could come up when you see their product, and you could say, why should I get this instead of just going on Amazon or going out and finding this for myself? They're already giving you why you should not do that before even introducing the product. And this is the first point in the page after all of this copy here. This is the first point in the page where they're actually soft introducing their product here in this comparison table. Basically, very simple comparison table. Comparison tables are extremely effective if you build them the right way. Even something like this, which doesn't look that good or it is very simple, it does really, really well in convincing people that your solution is the best, because it's just something that you can visually kind of understand. When a column has more than the other, then you kind of get the context of what they're trying to say, even without reading all of the points right here. Even if I covered all of this text on the left, you already can kind of get a feeling of what is the best between all of these. And it obviously also helps that the pricing is cheaper on this option right here. So yeah, they're starting to get you to understand why their solution is the best here, better than anything else that's available on the market. The rest of the copy is more social proof, more reviews, and more framing of why this specific collagen is the best. There is something I want to focus on here that's really important, and it also helps with type of offers that are kind of different, or maybe, for example, if you have a subscription offer or things like that, you can pre-frame basically anything you want about your offer, about your solution on these pages. And this is why these cold traffic focused funnels are super effective, because you can use the copy here to frame basically really whatever you want. One of the common ways you can do you can leverage this in the copy is if you have a subscription offer, for example, and your product needs to be used on a daily basis, or you need to be consistent with it. A very simple way of doing that is having a section in the copy that mentions that. So framing, okay, collagen has all of these benefits. You need to take collagen because you have this problem, and collagen helps you solve this problem through this method to deliver the solution. But it only works if, and in this case, the 3 points are: take it on a consistent daily basis. So you need to be consistent with it. Take the proper dose, so follow the dosing instructions. And then third point, which is really what they want since they're selling a subscription offer most likely, take it for the proper amount of time. If you just use it for a week or for a month, it's not going to work. You need to be using it for 3, 6, 9, 12 months. And here with these 3 points, they've already framed and made you understand that you need to be consistent with this. So normally when you get to the sales page, you know that this is the point. You know that it doesn't really make sense to do something, to do this if you're not going to do it properly, consistently, and for the next X amount of months or X amount of years. You're going to be more inclined to getting on the subscription or getting a bigger upfront quantity of bottles. And so it seems very, very stupid, or it seems like something very little. But when someone doesn't know about this and you give them the context and you explain it to them and you do it the right way, which is what we've seen with all of the points in the listicle, they're basically learning this because you're teaching them and you're educating them about it. And if you tell them that this specifically needs to be done in a certain way, then they're going to trust you if you did the rest well. If the rest of the copy is done well, if the rest of the angle is built in the right way, then it's going to help you sell specifically the offer you want and have a higher take rate on the option you want in your offer. So then when you click on the CTA, this is the offer page you land on. And now at this point, after whatever was the first step, in your funnel, advertorial, listicle, quits, whatever was the cold traffic lander. Now you have the sales page, and now at this point, the only goal you have is focusing on selling the offer. You need to focus on offer, and getting people through to actually buy and get them on the checkout page. So on this page, as you can see above the fold, completely focused on getting you to understand their offer, showing you their unique selling propositions and all of these things, free shipping, money back guarantee, the pricing, bundle up and save, more social proof, more authority and social proof here with over 4 million bottles sold, recommended by experts, all of that stuff. They're overcoming the last few hurdles that could be between you and getting to buy the offer. They have a little bit more explanation. So at this point on the offer page, the copy you see here is copy related to their specific product. We are not in the generic field anymore. We're not in the framing the problem and then the method to solve it. We are focusing on the product itself and why you should buy this specific product right here. And here, as you can see, more social proof, more authority with more experts and doctors. So framing it as obviously a solution that's supported by people that know what they're talking about. And all of this to get you to the buy box. This is a common buy box structure that works really well with cold traffic. Usually 3 options is the sweet spot, depending on the type of offer you're selling, obviously. But 3 options is what we've usually seen from our testing with 7, 8, and 9 figure clients to work the best. Usually there is one option, which is the option you don't really want them to go for, which is the 1 jar here. As you can see, it's on the right. The one in the middle, which is the one you want them to take, is obviously the one that has the most value, and framing it as a price per bottle and showing the total price smaller under it. So showing the attention here is going to be called by the price per bottle, and here you'll see you have the lowest price of them all. So it's what you actually want customers to go through with. Lower cost per jar, so also framing this as the better offer of all 3. There's the middle option, the one that it's still good, but it's in the middle between the worst one and the best one. So 3 jars, popular choice. Also adding badges on top of the buy box. So on the middle option, popular choice, and on the best option, best value, also helps with framing. Background, white background with shadows to make it different than the other options. And all of these things obviously are going to frame this one in the middle as the best option, and then the 3 jars one as the runner-up for customers looking to this. And also, as I said, the framing that's been done on the listicle on you should be taking this consistently, and all these things are going to get people away from getting only 1 jar, because they know they need to be consistent with this for a long time. So and here answering a few last frequently asked questions. Frequently asked questions are extremely good, and in all of our testing we've seen them help conversions go up. Usually what we like to do with them is having them directly under where the buy box is. So I think in this case maybe they're too far down in the page for how effective they are in helping people get through and convert. So I would personally get this section here and put it right under the buy box. So put it right under here. Trust me, they do help a lot, and we've seen from testing, from actual split testing on funnels for clients, that they do help conversions quite a lot. You could get the same funnel implemented today for your brand. We've helped dozens of 7, 8, and 9-figure brands get cold traffic optimized funnels in place to help them convert cold traffic more profitably and outspend their competition. If you want a funnel like this implemented for your brand, then click the first link below in the description, and I'm going to show you how we can implement this specifically step by step for your brand. See you in the next video.